Touch your left toe. Touch your right toe.
Hello and welcome to Good
Left
Games Spawn
toe.
Point, the show for younger gamers by gamers. I'm Hex.
Badger.
And I am D.A.R.R.E.N, the data-analyzing robot for the ruthless extermination of noobs. Left toe.
Oh, Darren. Hey, Darren, how many noobs have you actually exterminated? Why don't we talk about that for a while?
Don't try to distract me, Bajo. I haven't seen you touch your toes once.
Pardon.
You'll need to be at your physical peak to perform in Harry Potter. Kinect.
He's making a break for it.
He's not getting away this time. Going somewhere, Pettigrew?
Plus, I'll be going on a time warp to examine another aspect of gaming history, motion control.
Okay, how about now? You in the groove now?
I am now.
Have you got 4 on the floor?
And we'll also be...
But let's get things started by plunging into the strange and fruity worlds of Rayman Jungle Run. Excellent work, Hex.
Thank you.
Bajo, not so much. That's right, rehydrate. Rehydrate. Okay, that's enough, Bajo. That's too much, Bajo.
Well, it's been almost a year since Rayman Origins, and it was one of the best-looking side-scrollers that we've ever played. Rayman Legends isn't far away, and I don't know about you guys, but I am keen to return to the Glade of Dreams. And now Rayman is making an appearance on mobile devices in Jungle Run.
But does the limbless wonder have what it takes to make the wall run, kick, leap, hover, dash onto the small screen?
What I love about Rayman is it focuses on tight platforming, but it also has this beautiful art style with it as well.
Yeah, it's always a worry though, isn't it, when a game gets ported onto a mobile device? We have that fear that it's going to suffer from horrible downscaling and just not be as good.
Affirmative. If history has taught us anything, it's that scaled-down versions of big blockbuster games can end up feeling a bit, well, a shell of their former selves.
Well, I'm happy to say this is one of those exceptions, because right from the start of this game you can tell that a lot of love has gone into it. Just look at this opening menu.
Yes, the first thing you'll notice is that gorgeous art style from Rayman Origins. And the animations are just silky smooth, and I loved seeing those characters again. It just reminds me of watching a fun Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah, it's easy on the eyes, isn't it? And even when you're going at breakneck speed, it still looks great.
The stages themselves are more like short obstacle courses, similar to the chest-chasing levels from Origins. And just like many popular mobile games today, Rayman's running is controlled automatically. He'll persistently jog to the right of the screen. All you need to focus on is tapping the screen with precise timing to pull off a number of moves that will safely navigate him to each level's goal.
There are 40 well-crafted levels to unlock, and these are divided into groups of 10 that each introduce new skills. You begin by simply learning how to jump, but before long you'll learn how to run up walls, hover jump, and eventually combine these moves with attacks that'll help you bust through enemies and obstacles while avoiding bottomless pits and prickly spikes.
However, reaching the end of each stage is only part of the challenge in a Rayman game. You'll be hunting down and collecting those precious glowing lums, which also mark out the most effective route through each level.
Guys, I'm not usually a completist, like a Little Big Planet. I don't need to get every single sticker, but here, I had to get every single one of those little guys. Missing one was just unacceptable.
Collecting all the lums then unlocks a ruby-red tooth of the dead for Mr. Death, who upon receiving 5 new fangs will open a special bonus stage to complete. With no lums to collect in these stages, you'll just need to persist on perfecting your platforming if you plan to pass these particularly painful passages.
I especially enjoyed these levels, Darren. It's been far too long since I've really sweated over a tough platformer.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the learning curve here is almost perfect. Each stage presents slightly trickier obstacles and enemies, along with useful elements like swing vines and bounce pads. It's the sort of game that after only a few minutes of play, you'll find yourself swinging, bouncing, and flipping through levels like a pro.
Well guys, this is the perfect pick up and play game, and it is just so beautiful. Like we keep saying, I was drooling on my touchpad, which I don't recommend because then it gets quite hard to touch the touchpad. I'm giving this 9 out of 10 rubber chickens.
Yes, it's easily one of the best looking non-3D mobile games around, and the simple controls just perfectly complement that fun bouncy style we love about Rayman, so I'm giving it 9 as well.
Oh Hex, you better go read the news.
Are you feeling better now, Bajo?
I'm feeling better. I feel completely hydrated, Darren. So I do need to pee. What do you do when you need to pee, Darren? Where do you go?
Well, I run on plutonium, remember?
You don't need to pee then?
Negative.
Oh. Do you have plutonium waste?
Affirmative.
Data dumps?
I shoot it into the sun, actually.
Hex here from the Spawn Point news desk. Popular block building and crafting game Minecraft has become the most played game on Xbox Live. The indie-developed sensation managed to dethrone numerous big-budget series such as FIFA, Halo and Call of Duty to earn the top spot, claiming the highest number of unique users for the week. Exact numbers of users aren't revealed, however it marks the first time an arcade game has claimed the top spot. Researchers at Boston Children's Hospital have created a game that can help children gain better control over their emotions. Rage Control asks the player to shoot down enemy spacecraft while avoiding friendlies. A finger-mounted sensor detects the player's heart rate. If a player gets angry, their heart rate increases. If it beats too fast, the game prevents the player from being able to shoot at all. Players of Rage Control showed a noticeable decrease in both the frequency and intensity of their angry episodes. A programmer known by the alias Skilux has created a modified version of Super Mario 64, which allows for full cooperative play. The modified game snubs the obvious choice of Luigi as a co-op pal, instead adding in Mario's long-lost cousin Blario. Players can assist each other by dividing tasks, tag-teaming bosses, or jumping further.
Say, Darren, what was your time warp about this week?
Motion controls.
So that'd mean a lot of jumping around and moving and
Affirmative, Bajo.
exercise. Do you need my help with that?
Negative, Bajo. We don't want to take all day.
Yeah, good, because I'm saving myself for Harry Potter.
Of course you are. Off I go. We're now back in the year 2010.
Ready, sir? You know it, Skeet.
It's an exciting time for video games. 2010 saw the release of Batman, the Brave and the Bold, Super Mario Galaxy 2, and Tatsunoko vs. Capcom Ultimate All-Stars. 2010 also saw the launch of two new motion control products, Kinect for the Xbox 360 and Move for the PlayStation 3. These devices were intended to be even better than the motion control technology of the Nintendo Wii. Yet they met with mixed results. The Move worked in conjunction with the PS3 camera, the PlayStation Eye. While its multicoloured orbs were stylish, it didn't really do anything new. Wonder where they got that idea. The Kinect used advanced software to recognise limbs and track their movement. Alas, it seldom worked properly, especially if you're a robot. While some good games were eventually released for both Move and Kinect, these add-ons suffered from bad timing, because by the time they came out, many gamers were already attached to their Wiis. Well, time to return to the present day. Off we go. Back through time, back through time.
Oh, well, that was a great read.
Oh, dose it down, Hex, dose it down. We're gonna go do our Squid Game. Let's go. Let's go. I'll go too.
Careful, Bajo. Are you sure you're hydrated enough?
Yes,
Drink plenty of water.
I will.
Remember to stretch.
I need to pee.
It's time for another dose of questiony goodness, so let's start with this one from Look at That Orange.
Where?
No, that's his name.
Whose name?
The Spawnling, Look at That Orange.
Where?
There. It's from Look at That Orange in Mewtove, New South Wales. I have read in a magazine that a new console called Ouya is coming out. Can you please tell me if this is true or not?
Hey, Hex, that's an orange. Oh, I love oranges.
You're supposed to peel it first, Bajo.
Yeah.
Oh.
Citrusy.
Well, Look at That Orange. The Ouya is a real thing, and it's coming out early next year. It's basically a really small and cheap console that's kind of like a fairly powerful Android phone, except rather than being a phone, it's a console that connects to your TV.
I forgot you have to take the skin off before you eat the orange.
Yeah, that's what I said. You have to peel it first, like most normal people know since like birth.
I'm not normal. Better than normal. And apparently every game released on it will actually be free in some way, so they either need to have a free demo or a free-to-play section, something like that. It's also going to be purely digital, so you'll need to download your games.
All right, well, let's move on to this one from Blair, is awesome, in Mundering.
Sounds awesome.
Somewhere in Perth, Western Australia.
Oh, I forgot already! You want some?
No.
Dear GGSP, please answer my question. Do you know if Super Smash Bros. Brawl is coming out on 3DS, and when it can be available? By the way, you guys are awesome! P.S.
It's actually pronounced Mundaring.
Oh, it's for you.
Hello?
It's actually pronounced Mundaring.
Really? I thought it was Mundering.
No, Mundaring.
I was wondering about that. Well, thanks,
Darren.
Blair. And yes, we do know that Super Smash Bros. Is a game made for the 3DS and Wii U, but there's no real information about it other than the fact that it is being made.
Next, they're going to tell me that it's not pronounced Warren Amble, which we all know it is. Isn't it? Anyway, let's move on to this one from Joshi in the Yoshi, who is in the D.A.R.R.E.N cave, which is in Swan Hill, which is in Victoria. Hello, GGSP. I have been asking and waiting for a while, so please respond. Okay, could you give me some info on Sly 4 Thieves in Time, such as characters, abilities, and worlds? Also, what is the new Ratchet and Clank Full Frontal Assault about? And is there another Spyro game after Dawn of the Dragon coming out? Because I was left a bit confused by the ending coming out soon. P.S. Bajo is extremely awesome.
Yeah.
Hex is just normal awesome. Goose is the best field reporter, and Darren is cool, so be nice to him. He is not a noob, he just can't sing. Sorry, Darren. Also, Bajo, please make these sounds. Hilarious you are, Bajo.
Oh, I just need to get... Sorry, Hex. I just need to get that taste of the orange out of my mouth. Oh. Again.
Well, Joshi, we can tell you a little bit about Sly 4. We know the story will continue on from Sly 3, with many characters returning like Bentley, Murray, Carmelita, and we also know a few of the villains such as El Jefe, Miss Decibel, and Grizzle B.
There... I didn't want to talk to him, Hex. You answer it. I'm talking to him. You do it.
Fine.
Enough, Darren, today.
Hi, Darren.
I love you, Darren.
They're also adding in costumes that can power up Sly, like a Robin Hood outfit that lets him shoot arrows. And the developers have also said that the levels will be around 3 times as big. And it's also due out in February next year.
Hex, I knew all that, and I just let Darren say, because sometimes you need to be the bigger
As for
person.
the Ratchet and Clank Full Frontal Assault, that's actually going to be called Ratchet and Clank Q-Force here in Australia. And from what we know, it's a slightly different take on the series, with more of a focus on co-op tower defense, along with the usual third-person alien blasting.
Hex, can I talk to Darren just for a moment?
Yeah, please.
Hey, Darren, just hang on a sec. Muffle him for a moment. As for new... Tickles a bit. As for new Spyro games, well, other than Skylanders, there hasn't been any word on more games in the main Spyro series. There might be more at some point, but at least for now, there isn't anything in development that we know about.
All right, well, next up we have this one from Levi in Ravenswood, Western Australia.
Hey, Darren, you there? You there still?
Huh?
Did you do anything to my orange because it tastes funny? Hey, good game, can you please tell me how many coins you need to get to unlock the golden cart body and the golden glider in Mario Kart 7? P.S. Your show is awesome, and I still think Bajo needs a high five lesson.
Well, that's easy enough to answer, Levi, but a fair bit harder to achieve. To unlock the golden glider, you'll need a whopping 10,000 coins, and for the golden body, you'll have to get that many again for a massive total of 20,000. And considering you can only earn a maximum of 10 coins in a race, that's at least 2,000 races.
Whoa, that's a lot of races. There is another way to earn them, though. You can actually get the gold glider by connecting to 100 people through Street Pass. Or, if you can get your multiplayer VR racing to 10,000, then you will get a golden body too that way.
That was crazy. Yeah. Well, good luck with it, Levi. Yeah. But moving on to this one now from Cameron in Bitterben. Bitterben in Queensland.
Oh, what is it now? What? Hi, Darren.
Did I ever tell you about the time that I had a golden body?
You did tell me about it, Darren, but why don't you just tell us all again?
Oh, it was a wonderful time when I was worshipped by the ancient Aztecs. I was completely coated in gold, and they thought I was their sun god. Of course, they called me Quetzalcoatl back then, which is a very amusing acronym in the ancient Aztec language.
That's quite impressive, Darren. Have you made any other appearances throughout history?
Oh, of course. The ancient Egyptians thought I was a sphinx, and what you think of as the Eiffel Tower is actually one of my old antennae.
Really?
Fascinating.
Well, they've made it all sparkly now. What do you think about that?
Well, it is a bit of a tourist trap, but I think they're honouring
The
my
Eiffel Tower's got a laser on the top of it. This explains so much.
Still making sense. Yeah.
Oh, well, thanks, Darren.
No worries.
Bye.
Bye, Darren.
Is there a farm in your Minecraft world? If not, you should put one in.
There's actually quite a few farms in our world, Cameron. We've got our little tiny greenhouse farm here, then there's our underwater biodome farm here, and the Sky Garden farm here.
Then we've got a little farm for netherworts just through our nether portal here, and our tree farm just here.
And technically, our mob grinder is a giant automatic farm too.
Indeed it is. So yeah, plenty of farms there. But moving on to this one now from Hex's computer in front of Hex in South Australia.
Computers become aware, and it lives in South Australia. It's a long commute up here every day.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's quite far.
Probably surfs the internet on itself. Hey, good game. I was just wondering when the PS3 version of Super Smash Bros. Brawl was coming out, and if you could just show me some of it, please. Also, will Cole McGrath from Infamous be in it, and how about Nathan Drake? Haha! Thanks. P.S. D.A.R.R.E.N. is a full-on mega ultra super noob. Well, it's not actually a PS3 version of Super Smash Bros. Brawl, it's a completely different game called PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. It's definitely similar to Super Smash Bros., but it's not a Smash game.
But it is coming out in a few weeks on November the 22nd to be precise, so here's a quick look.
Oh, I squashed my orange. And yes, Cole McGrath and Nathan Drake are both in it, along with loads of other characters like Ratchet and Clank, Jak and Daxter, Sackboy and Sly Cooper, just to name a few.
Yeah, it's an interesting group of characters. Hopefully it's good fun. But let's move on now to this one from Jimbo in Vegas, Queensland. What does Forza Horizon and the new Need for Speed Most Wanted have in comparison, and what game would you prefer? Yay!
Well, Jimbo, they're both open world races, so they have that in common, but other than that, they are quite different games. Forza Horizon is all about quite realistic handling and proper racing and loads of car customization options, so if you're looking for a game that quite accurately recreates how cars feel to drive, then that's probably your best bet.
Need for Speed Most Wanted, on the other hand, doesn't really care about realistic handling. It's all about loads of over-the-top fast cars, big crashes, cop chases, huge drifts, and competing with friends. So if you want something that's going to be pure crazy driving, then Most Wanted is the one that you're after.
Yes, personally, I prefer Most Wanted. It's heaps of fun, especially if you've got a few friends to play with, and I love those crashes and cop chases. It's probably my new favourite racing game of all time, so that would be my recommendation.
Yeah, Forza Horizon is still a great game, but I'm with you, Badge. If I had to pick, I'd take the craziness of Most Wanted any day.
Yeah.
All right, well, on that note, I think we're out of time for this week, so if you'd like to ask us a question, then you can always jump on here and send it in.
Do you want some of my orange?
No, why? It's been in your mouth like several times,
some
and
water?
you've taken chunks out of it.
Want some more orange?
You know, if you squeeze that in there, you can make orange juice. You need a juicer. That's
Oh, again!
slightly orange
I can go
flavored
clean
water.
myself up. Oh.
There's basic things
Why do I keep
that
spilling
most
it?
people know that you just have no concept of. Where did you come from?
Hurry, hurry, hurry! Hurry, hurry, hurry!
Harry Potter. He may have cast a spell over our imaginations in the books and films, but when it comes to video games, he hasn't really cast a spell in our hearts.
Yes, with the exception of the Lego games, which are very good. But maybe Harry Potter Kinect can change things?
That's a negative.
Now, place him down into another empty pot.
Yeah, so look, I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with the Kinect, and here the controls are really responsive and everything does work. It's just really boring, and I think it's one of the worst Kinect games I've played because of that.
Yeah, many of the major scenes from all 8 films have been turned into their own little mini-game.
In today's class, you will attempt to brew a cure for boils. You may begin.
You'll take a potion class with Professor Snape, play a round of Quidditch, battle Voldemort, and much more. I mean, there's certainly plenty of variety, but the problem is there's very little gameplay to any of them, so it's just not fun.
Yes, the Quidditch, for example, is simply leaning to avoid obstacles or punching when someone gets too close to you.
Stupid Slytherin.
It just fails to capture any of the excitement that we know should be in a Quidditch match. And really, there's only a few games repeated in various ways. Running through a maze or battling a tree, for example, are essentially the same game of jumping, ducking, and leaning.
Affirmative. It's one thing to make games simple so that everyone can enjoy them. Simple can be fun, but not in this case. You're awarded up to 5 stars for completing levels based on how well you play, and this is clearly designed to encourage replaying levels. However, only muggles would want to. Once is more than enough.
Yes, and you'd think things would pick up in the magical battles, but no. All you do is shout out the name of your magic spell and wave your hand like a wand to cast it. Which sounds kind of fun in theory, but there's just barely any strategy. You can usually just spam any spell and win.
I also found it a bit annoying how they say the name of every spell every time they cast it. And I know that's how magic works, but it was still very annoying.
Incendio! 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 Incendio!
I did like the face scanning feature though, which lets you put your face in the game as Harry.
I don't think we should let the spawnling see that, Bajo.
Yeah, your face was terrifying. It just scanned your nose and eye. So your character had this giant mutant nose in the side of its face and then one giant eye as well. It was terrifying.
Looked fine to me.
Negative.
Let's have a look.
Negative.
There's also a hub menu where you can listen to some songs from the Sorting Hat, and then there's Forks here, and from what I can tell, all you do is give him a rub, and then he sets on fire and then disappears. What's the point of that?
Well, you get an achievement for it, but yeah, other than that, there's not much point. There's also 2-player multiplayer where you can go up against each other in competitive Quidditch or competitive dueling, but after a couple of goes at each, I'd really had enough.
Oh, this is a real opportunity missed. You'd think the Kinect would be perfect for magic casting and all that sort of stuff, but no, they just totally dropped the ball. Or dropped the Quidditch ball. Yeah. I'm giving it 3 out of 10 rubber chicken.
Yeah, it's definitely one to avoid. I'm giving it 4.
I mean, you've seen those videos online of people trying to play real-life Quidditch.
Oh, I have. They look awesome.
It looks a lot more fun than this.
Yeah.
It does look more fun.
Yeah.
Relatively speaking.
You'd be really good at Quidditch,
Yeah.
Darren, because you've got your rocket boots.
Rocket boots.
You could actually chase the golden snitch.
I could laser that snitch right out of the air.
Yeah.
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 You should be on our team.
He should be. Definitely. Come on, Darren, give me a one sit-up. Yeah, it's not as easy as it looks.
Be careful, Darren. Don't strain something.
Yeah, you know, Bajo, there's a lot of research now showing that sit-ups are actually quite bad for...
Oh, I'm interested in that research, Darren, but it doesn't change the fact we need to see a sit-up from you. You promised.
Next week on the show, we'll be reviewing Professor Layton and the Miracle Mask.
I must be cursed by the Mask of Chaos, for it is now threatening to destroy our city.
Oh, Darren, you look a bit parched. Would you like some hydration, Darren?
Negative. Negative. Don't want to cause a short.
I'm just teasing.
All right, well, until next time, gamers, may all your games be good ones. Hex out.
Bajo out.
Darren out. Bajo, I think I've burst a gasket. Could you pick me up a spare part?
Yeah, sure, Darren. Where would I get that from?
Oh, there's a little place on Neptune I go to. Could you go there?
Yeah, I'll go get it right now, Darren.
Oh, thanks, Bajo.
I'm going to massage your neck plate.
Oh, thanks, Hex.
How's that?
Much better.